Okay guys, we're gonna start, or ladies, we're gonna start a novel study this week.
Yay!
We're winding down because it's getting close to the end of the year, and I wanted to do something a little more laid back, and I think this is a good book to do it with. The novel study is going to be over the book Among the Hidden, and the author of this book is Margaret Peterson Haddock. I'm sure y'all have read some of the Haddock books. It's not a very long book because I want to get through it before the end of the school year, but we're going to talk about it first. I'm going to give you a worksheet, and I'm going to go over the PowerPoint that goes along with this. This is going to be our assignment before we start the novel study, so we can determine kind of what it's about, but we're going to work on getting your thoughts on paper before we get into the book. And you'll need a pencil and this paper. Make sure your name's at the top. I'm going to pull the slideshow up on the TV so we can go over it together, because we're going to do this together. Make sure it's up there. It is up there. All right. On the top of your page, it asks you what your favorite things to do are outside. I want you to write down your favorite things to do outside in each box. Each box is going to ask you it's going to tell you different types of weather and stuff, where you can tell me what you like to do outside during that type of weather. Okay, I want you to really tell me something on every one. The first box is on a hot day. So in that first box, write down something that you like to do outside on a hot day. Think about it. Something that you just love to do outside on a hot day. I know what I love to do. Write it down. Something that you love to do on a hot day. Does anyone want to tell me what they like to do on a hot day outside? What do you like to do, Michaela?
Go swimming in the pool.
Swimming, that's perfect. That's what I like to do on a hot day outside, swimming. Haley, is that what you put too, swimming? Why do you want to go swimming on a hot day outside?
Because you can get water and you can cool down.
You can cool down. And we have very hot and humid summers, so we definitely want to cool down, right?
Yes.
In the next box, Dixie, are you ready, honey?
Yeah.
Okay, in the next box, it asks you, what is your favorite thing to do outside on a winter day with a fresh coat of snow on the ground? Fresh coat of snow on the ground. What do you want to do outside in that snow?
I wouldn't go out though.
You don't like to play in the snow? You don't? Well, I do, but not for a very long time because I get really cold. My fingers and toes start going numb.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like getting my feet all wet. I have to wear, it's good to wear water boots or something. But I like, and this is really cold too, but my husband had built a sled that he pulls behind his four-wheeler. So it's almost a version of sledding without a heel. He pulls it on his four-wheeler, and we ride on it behind him. And he slides around the curves, and we go all over the place. That's what I like to do. Do you want to share what you like to do, Haley? What do you like to do in the snow? You like to make a snowman? I love making snowmans too. Okay, next box. A warm spring day. What do you like to do outside on a warm spring day? It's okay, Michaela. I think it's still recording. What do you like to do on a warm spring day? Outside. Not hot, not unbearably hot, but a warm spring day. What do y'all like to do? Write that down in the next box. Tell me what you like to do. Warm spring day. We have some of those. We've had some of those recently. We've had a lot of rain though, so We've had cold days, all spring days, but the weather's back and forth, but a warm spring day is probably my favorite. What do you like to do, Dixie, outside on a warm spring day?
Don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Do you like to go outside and sit in a chair or lay in a hammock? Does anyone have a hammock? Oh, it's so nice to lay outside in a hammock when there's just a little bit of a breeze and it's not too hot.
Not too cold. It's
Yes.
just perfect.
What about a cool autumn day? I like cool autumn days too. What would you do outside on a cool autumn day?
Okay, I'll tell you about my warm summer day.
Yeah, you can tell me, Michaela.
Sit outside on the porch and eat fruit.
Oh, that's
in a
awesome.
rocking chair
That's
or
awesome.
something. I didn't
I love
add
doing
that, but I mean, close to it.
What do you do on a cool autumn day outside, Haley? Walk? Yeah, walking around outside or going for a walk out in the woods or on the path or wherever. I don't know if you live in town or in the country, but we'll walk down our road because we live in the country. Or just walking around the yard. Cool autumn day. Those are two of my favorite times, spring and autumn. Things you like to do outdoors with friends. That's your next box. What do you like to do outdoors with your friends?
I don't live around my friends. So.
You don't live around your friends. What would you like to do outside with your friends?
It depends if it's dark.
Okay. You can put both or either one. It doesn't matter.
Basically, I like being outside at night because it's just the stars and.
Well, you can put that on there. If it's outside, it doesn't matter what time of day. Whatever you like to do. That's what we're talking about. Whatever you like to do. Haley, you said you like to go out and look at the stars at night. I love looking at the stars. In the big cities, you can't see the stars very well because of all the light, but we live out here. We're lucky enough to live in an area where we can see them pretty well, especially if you live in the country, out of town. What about things you like to do outdoors with, oh wait, I just went over that one. Let's go to the next one. The best birthday party you had and or went to. What's the best birthday party that you've had yourself or one that you went to, a friend or family member's birthday party? Write down what kind of birthday party you went to. What was the best one? You can tell me the person. Ooh, turn sideways. Tell me the person's birthday party it was. You can tell me what kind of birthday party it was, anything. Write that down and tell me. Somebody can tell me what kind of birthday party. Do you have one? Do you have one, Michaela?
I'm writing it down.
You are? Okay. If anyone wants to share, they can. When you were little? It could be one that you went to when you were little. It's been a long time, you can't remember? You've never went to a family member's birthday party, even an older family member, you know, a grandparent, a cousin's, anything like that you enjoyed?
I remember when I was little,
Y'all swam at the birthday party? Those are fun. When you could go to the birthday party and
what's
swim.
those equipment? It's like you get on top, like you climb it, and it's a slide, and it goes into a pool.
It's like a bouncy house. It's a bouncy house slide. It's a
Bouncy
blow-up.
house slide.
Yeah. I'll tell you, we had birthday parties for my sons, and some of their favorite birthday parties were when we took them to the park and we would invite all their friends and they would have a big baseball game. We would eat cake and ice cream and do presents and they would go out in the field and play baseball for hours. They loved it. Loved it. They had so much fun. Yes, Michaela?
Alright, this is what I would do. Like I had on my birthday, or the day before. It was
It's okay. It's okay. You can read.
We were having a birthday party and rented a bouncy house.
With the slide in the water?
The slide, yeah.
That's awesome. Those are fun too. Those are lots of fun. So let's move on to the next part. Your favorite part of the school day. What is your favorite part of the school day? When you go home? That's not the school day. That's after. What's your favorite part of the school day? Be honest. It's okay. If it's not with me, I'm fine with that. I'll forgive you. Favorite part of the school day? I'm pretty fond of lunchtime, to be honest. I like to eat.
Me too.
Okay.
Hold on.
Now, it's okay, Michaela. Where'd you go? Alright. I'm gonna tell you something about this story and the reason why we're doing this. It seems kind of odd that we're answering all these questions and I was talking about a novel study, but there's a connection between this and our book. In this book, I'm gonna scroll down. This book is about a boy named Luke Garner. He's 12 years old, and he has never done any of the things you've read about. Never. Can you guess why he's probably never done any of those things? Think he lives in a bad family? What can you think of any reason he might not have been able to do those things, Michaela?
He maybe his parents wouldn't allow him to do anything,
Maybe.
or he was bored, or he didn't do anything like he did. He just wanted to be a couch person. Or
Oh.
I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Dixie, why do you think that he wouldn't be able to do any of those things? You don't know? You can't think of anything?
Or maybe he just doesn't want to do anything. He don't feel confident enough to just go outside or
Think maybe he don't
walk
want to.
or
Okay, we're gonna learn more about that. I'm gonna move on to the next question, okay? And just remember, he's never been able to do any of that, and we're gonna figure out why later on. How many children do you think each family should be allowed to have? If there was if they had to put a restriction on how many children a family could have, or do you think there should be a restriction? 6? You think they should be able to have 6 and no more? What do you think,
I
Michaela?
think they should just have. I don't want them to have a restriction.
No, have as many as they want.
Yeah.
Dixie, what do you think? Do you think that they should say you can only have this many children?
I guess.
You think they should do that? You know, this is about the same subject, but in China, they used to have a restriction or give them. They'd say you're going to get extra of this if you only have one child. You'll get more help. Yes.
Can I get a water bottle from my brother?
Yes, you can. I think that they should be able to have as many as they want or as little as they want. Think, pair, and share. This we're supposed to go into groups, but we are going to do this together because I feel like looking around,
We're
there's
actually
three
a
of us
group.
here. What do you think the number of children families can have should be based on? Salary, space in the home, food or resources available? So, Haley, you said 6. Michaela, you said as many as they want.
I said 6 because that's all
That's fine.
6 is enough.
Yeah. And Dixie, you're not sure. So, if there was a limit, if they had to put a limit, or even if they don't have a limit, and the family thinks, I really need to figure out how many kids I want to have, What do you think they should go by? Do you know what salary is?
A vegetable?
Salary, not celery, salary is how much someone gets paid each year, or each paycheck. That's money.
And
Space in the home, food or resources available. What do you think that they should go by if they think, well, I need to figure out how many kids I can have because of this? I'm gonna think about this to determine.
Drink a green drink? The money.
The money, you think that they should figure out how much, well, I make this much money each year, so I only need 2 kids. Or, I only have a 2-bedroom house, I only need 1 child. Or, wow, food is very expensive. Or we don't want to supply all this food for you and your family, so you're only allowed to have 2 children. Do you think that's fair?
No.
That for someone else to tell you is not fair, right?
Mm.
But for you to decide on your own, being smart and deciding on your own may be fair, right? Who should be in charge of making sure people follow the rules? Yes, Michaela?
The government, the president, the boss, if they have a job, the landlord to make sure the house is running and
Those are very good answers. Do you think someone should be allowed to tell you you can only have 1 kid or 2 kids?
No, you can
No.
have however many you want. Heck, what if you wanted 100 kids?
Okay. And if they told you that, what, and you decided, they say you can only have 1 kid, and then you decided to have 2, and now you're in trouble, what do you think that the penalty for not following those rules should be?
You could go to jail, you can get
Jail?
arrested, you can get really in bad trouble, and they might hurt you into a place where you can't be, you know.
Would you like that, Dixie, to be treated that way? That wouldn't be great, would it? Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about our story. I'm gonna read the back of it.
It would be nice to have children, but also it's really hard for like back in the day like that to happen.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
I'm gonna read the back of it so you can figure out a little more of what it's about and why we did this worksheet and talked about this stuff. Luke has never been to school. He's never had a birthday party or gone to a friend's house for an overnight. In fact, Luke has never had a friend. Luke is one of the shadow children, a 3rd child forbidden by the population police. He's lived his entire life in hiding, and now, with the new housing development replacing the woods next to his family's farm, he is no longer even allowed to go outside. Then, one day, Luke sees a girl's face in the window of a house where he knows 2 other children already live. Finally, he's met a shadow child like himself. Jen is willing to risk everything to come out of the shadows. Does Luke dare to become involved in her dangerous plan? Can he afford not to? Now, do you understand? Do you understand anything? What do you think? What do you think the reason is for doing this worksheet? What was I trying to tell you?
He was like, we can do the stuff, but he can't. So it's one person can and one person can't, or the other person can and the other person can't.
So Haley, on the first part where I read, Luke is one of the shadow children, a 3rd child forbidden by the population police. What do you think that means? The population police, you know what population means?
How many people?
Population is the amount of people. It's a number, a count of people. So they're controlling the population, which means they're telling them, you can only have 2 children. You cannot have any more than 2 children, or you're gonna get punished. You're gonna, the question that I asked earlier, you're gonna be in trouble. Okay, and so he lived in hiding his entire life. They had a 3rd child, but the parents did not want the population police to find him, right? So he's hiding. He's living in hiding. Nobody can know he exists. So he can't go outside. He can't have friends. He can't let nobody know that he exists at all. He can't talk to other people besides his family. He can't let them see him. nothing. Can you imagine how miserable that would be? That's why we ask I ask the questions about what would you do
I'll
outside during
go
these
find
days.
somebody without the parents around you and go tell somebody.
But that's the problem. In his world, the parents aren't the ones, they don't want him to do it because they will get in trouble. But it's
Who
the
has-
population police and other people, somebody else might tell on them. Yes. And then, next, there's a girl. She's a shadow child. Remember, shadow child is the third child, the forbidden child they're not supposed to have. So she's a shadow child too. And he sees her. And he wants to go play with her and be friends with her. And he don't know if he wants to risk it or not. He's kind of scared, but he's really interested and he really wants to. So now we're gonna have to find out what happens. We're gonna start reading this book our next day in class, which is gonna be tomorrow. We're gonna start reading this book tomorrow in class. And
Well, I have to do a Google Meet or something, so I can be able to be here.
I'll go over it with you a different time, Michaela. We'll make it up, okay? And we're gonna find out more about this boy. I'm gonna read some of the chapters and we've got some more lessons to do on this. Do y'all have any questions about this or any comments y'all want to tell me or say? Anything at all? Yeah, it does sound interesting. I'm really excited. To read it. Any questions, Michaela? Dixie?
Yeah.
Nothing? Okay, I want you to turn your worksheets into the bin over there so I can look over them and give you a grade for it, okay? Thank you guys for participating.